Now, you say it's bigger than hip-hop. You say this is young men's perspective. Like, what is this whole program, this whole media about? I mean, everybody got these so-called conscious radio stations. What do you guys deal with?
It's your knowledge yourself. True indeed.
Mr. Hodges, what do you guys do?
So we elevate the mind. We submit to stimulation. We definitely inject that true knowledge of self. We get it in. We talk about that beat. Turn down that beat. Listen to them lyrics.
Oh, wow. So you guys know. You guys know what we doing with the beats, huh? You know how we mesmerizing and hypnotizing that subconscious, huh? Oh, you one of them smart people, huh? Oh, just one of them intellectual media broadcasts, huh? Oh, okay. You guys think you smart. You guys keep unplugging from the matrix, huh? Okay. We'll keep figuring you out. We'll keep studying you in all your schools and all your colleges and your sports, and we're gonna know. Let's go. It's bigger than hip-hop. Where we open up your mind to new thoughts, you think outside the box. You deal with the true reality and actual facts, taking things for what they are, not for what they appear to be. Never taking nothing on face value. Do your research all the time. Bigger than hip-hop. Let's go.
We kicking off this Bigger Than Hip-Hop with the international singer-songwriter Lina Loi is in the building. Also, we going to sit down with Professor Griff, MC Shan. We going to bring it to y'all. It's Bigger Than Hip-Hop.
Yeah.
Let me share how I love the way you started the artistic print and presented such a breath of fresh air with the style of music. Describe for us your musical fusion, how you captured the rich era of the 30s, and what you call it one of the Harlem.
Okay. I have like a really strong vintage jazz influence. So I do like Billie Holiday meets, this is what the press is describing as, Billie Holiday meets Sade, with a little edge. And the reason why is because I did grow up the first part of my life only listening to gospel music. So I didn't get into jazz music until about 11 years old. And I listened to Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, people like that. And then as I got older and bought records, I got into Sade, and Portishead and, bands like that. So I was influenced by them.
Okay. Well, you made your introduction into the industry bowl with your debut album, which is one of my absolute favorites, Stranger on Earth, with that hit, I'm Not Your Enemy. And it was during this time you in your career, you described yourself as insecure. Do you still find yourself feeling insecure when it comes to your music?
No, because, it's like I felt like I was ahead of my time as far as music, especially being an African-American artist, because at the record label they had us, we were pretty much separated, urban music. But I had an alternative thing. And when I did record this album, they had a hard time categorizing it. So I felt like I was separated from my peers. They would call it R&B, but my style of music was not simply R&B. It was influenced by jazz. So they did create a category called alternative R&B. So no, I'm confident now. It's like I was ahead of my time, and then, the time's caught up.
And you're definitely in a lane by yourself, so they need to catch up to you now. How about that?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, I'd like to share a quote from you, and I quote, with so much technology, there's a lot of producer-driven artists. The result is that the tracks have become the meat versus the lyric, and it's become more about manufacturing, mass-produced recording, and it can be difficult to be original. But you said, I always put passion to my writing and performing. I just let the music that's inside me flow out, end quote. Elaborate your thoughts on the presentation of music today regarding the lack of originality and some of the meaningless content that's out there.
That's a great question. It's awesome. And I talk about this with a lot of my peers that are artists, meaning they are developed into this thing and they're presenting what's inside of them. And the music business. It became driven by monetary gain and just all the wrong reasons why people do music now. So you have these sources, which are the businesses and the companies that have such influence on the art. So the art form dies, and it becomes like this mass-produced manufacturing, a machine where they just put these numbers in and tell them who and what they're going to be, and it's not really coming from them. So it has hurt the music industry and the art of music and lyric and song, because artists used to write for themselves. They used to talk about what they were going through. Used to get the piece of their soul. Their expression was through music. So now it's just not like that. You got a lot of artists who just want the fame. So you can't feel anything. And it's producer-driven because it's about the beat and not about the lyric or the spirit of the artist that's performing or ministering to you, basically, is what's happening to you, no matter what the message you're being ministered to.
And that's a definitely excellent segue to my next question. You're an amazing woman and artist, absolutely you are. And you sing in 8 languages. You're very welcome. And you're reclaiming decades' worth of musical heritage for new generations. A lot of artists today, particularly in our communities, when it comes to the topic of being responsible with their music content, either ignore or don't care about the role model factor. Many don't see it as such and don't feel it's their responsibility. What's your thoughts on artists taking that badge of honor and being held accountable?
I feel really disappointed about artists today because I've heard a lot of artists say it's not their responsibility, and when it absolutely is our responsibility. We have the podium. We have the opportunity to edify, encourage. Music is so powerful like that. And no matter what these artists say, they are influencing some impressionable youth, or the spirit is influencing some person that's an adult that's going through something. If you think about music that you listen to at certain times, if you really focus on maybe if you're depressed, I tell people all the time, if you're depressed or if you're feeling, strange, what have you been listening to? Just go back and, go through your music. What did you hear on the radio? What message came to you? What influenced you that day? And even when you're in a positive mood and an optimistic mood, most likely you had some great vibration, some great frequency coming through that airwave. It's an airwave, and it comes into you. It's a spirit. It influences. It ministers. We have a huge responsibility. I know that hip-hop music, when it started out, it was liberating music, and now because of a lot of the parents that weren't in the household and a lot of the kids and the music that they choose, has influenced the whole generation. And you see a lot of people who are no longer in love. They even talked about how they don't love each other, but they talk about the material things, superficial things. It influenced a lot of young men to go to jail because they wanted to live that lifestyle of what this song was saying. It influences you and tells you who you are, what you are. If you don't have a parent, or a person in your life telling you this is just an art form, people believe those lyrics, and art imitates life, and life imitates art.
Mm-hmm. Now, I had the opportunity to sit down with MC Light, and she definitely broke it down as well in regards to this area we discussed. And she says to turn that beat down and listen to them lyrics, because those beats tend to have a way of hypnotizing you. And like you said, it will guide you in directions and making decisions and choices that you would normally make. And then I also add on to that, we say that old adage, we are what we eat, but we need to incorporate the fact we are what we listen to and what we watch as well.
Yes. Music is spirit food, and the programs, it's called program, that we watch on TV. They actually program us. They influence us.
Mm-hmm. Now, Grammy nominees that cross multiple music categories, singing background that spans genres of soul, jazz, opera, hip-hop, pop, and country. You're an original. You bring that breath of fresh air with an arresting sound that's passionate, organic, and timeless. and I'm definitely captivated. Talk about how music helps you deal with life and love, and the message clearly resonating in your songs. It's very welcome.
Well, it's definitely my way to relax, and it's like I meditate, and what music does for me when I'm writing, it gives me that expression that I need to release, and it helps me, like, work out my life, because a lot of times when I'm writing, I'm writing about myself, but a lot of times I'm writing because I have friends that talk to me and the things that they go through, and I don't have the words sometimes to say just in a conversation, or maybe I'm not bold enough to say certain things. But I pay attention to what's going on in the world, and I write this message of what's inside of me. I need it out. So it's like my therapy to get this music out. And then also I feel, we need each other. So those times when I hear my friends and family going through things, or just someone on, maybe Facebook write about a problem, it'll inspire me to write this song, this message to them. And I believe this message comes from a good place, because I really do hope that my music would never take a person down a wrong path, but I hope that it would edify. That's my mission, that it will help them out of something, because that's what music does for me. Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, it helped me. So I hope that I'm helping someone, one person, two people.
Okay. Now, you talk about your writing. Tell us about some of the people you've written for, and some of the songs that some people may be familiar but just didn't know that you wrote them.
My first project was Tyrese. I wrote on his first album, and it was kind of cool because they were like, how can you write a song for a male? And I was like, well, I pay attention. So wrote to Tyrese, and me and Anthony Hamilton wrote a duet that he sang with me, Big Rube, David Hollister. So I wrote these songs, and they came on and did them with me, and they were duets.
Okay. Now, who's your first love in this industry game, writing or singing?
I gotta say writing. Singing comes natural, but I have to write. Like I said, it's therapy for me. I have to express myself, and I have to address issues.
Now, you released your third album independently back in February of 2008 on your label, Moonstar Recordings. Was this latest album released on Moonstar? Who else can we that you have signed that we can be on the lookout for?
Well, what I do is I do these Save the Soul projects where I get artists from all over the world, and either I write them songs, or either they submit songs that they have written, and we go through these songs and we put this compilation together with these different artists from all genres. And we released that on Moonstar. This album, The Love Chronicles of Lady Songbird, is going to be released on Monarchy, Moonstar. So I did another joint venture like I did with the Inner Beauty Movement when it was with Hidden Beach and Moonstar. My third album was just my release, Moonstar.
Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about your new album, The Love Chronicle of a Lady Songbird. It's been said your delivery is sometimes reminiscent of the jazz greats like Billie Holiday and an artsy, funky style like Erykah Badu. But absolutely, for me, it's no comparison. As I said, just such an original and fresh sound. How would you describe this album? Is it more of an upbeat solo tempo or a continuing of your perspective and experiences regarding life?
This is a tribute to soul album. And I did this album because of what I thought was going on in the music business. I saw the movie Cadillac Records, where they would record with a full band and put on a full show, and that's the album. That's the energy and spirit that went into that album. And the artists and what they struggled with that made them so passionate and so true to the game. I wanted to do a tribute to soul, just to remind us the same way. I guess now my manager said, well, you do concept albums, because sang on that album, I did for the same reason. I thought that music and era was forgotten, and I wanted my peers to know about it. So I wanted to inspire them to just do research. And the same thing with this album. It's got the old cats from back in the day in the studio with me, and we played live. It's a live studio album. They played with people from Motown days. So I was, very happy to do this record because I felt like I wanted to be around in Motown days and sing with Marky Robinson and Marvin Gaye and be a part of that whole clique. So this is like a continuance,
Okay. Now, off the album, a lot of people were talking about the particular songs, I Won't Go Down. The ladies, actually, in particular, they're loving this one. Tell us about that.
Wow. I Won't Go Down, yeah. I've been getting a lot of feedback about that song. Women love that song, but men, too. But the women, I guess they can relate, and the reason why they'll speak up is because maybe a man don't want to talk about that. But it's a relationship song, and it's a song that's very personal. And basically, this song is about an abusive relationship, not necessarily physical, but emotional abuse. Like when people are taken for granted in love, when you're hurting me just because I love you, that kind of thing. And so it's about trying to hold on to something that's fruitless. So at some point, you have to just say, it's a dead end, and you can't keep repeating that cycle. And then at the end of the song, I say, it would make me an enabler. Because when you do repeat the cycle and you let people mistreat you over and over again, you're enabling this. The signs are there. You keep going down this road, so, love is not that kind of, love won't put you in a place like that.
Right.
So I just wanted to just express what I've been through that. That's exactly what I've been through. I couldn't have wrote that song if I hadn't gone through it. And I do say in the beginning, it's not about men, because I know there are some great men out there. I know it. I'm not one of those women who have a problem believing that they're good men. I know I have a great father, brother, and I've been in wonderful relationships, but this particular man had issues. So that's what the song is about.
And now the fellas is definitely feeling Come to Me. I got the opportunity to listen to the album last night. I had first said Come to Me was my favorite off the album, but I'm going to tell you right now, Better Together is a banger.
Oh, wow, Better Together. Yeah.
Talk about
so much. You know what? When I wrote that song, I was like, oh, I wish I was around. Like, I always fantasize about being back in the day when music was amazing, like with Aretha Franklin and Stevie Wonder and all of them. And I was just dreaming about, what if I wrote this song for Aretha Franklin? How would she sing this song? I know her sister wrote for her, and her sister could sing. So I was like, how would she sing this song? And, I just wrote about another situation that I personally experienced.
Now, you said you read a lot about your own personal experiences, and you definitely touch on relationships regarding communication. What other areas would you say you're more focused on in terms of your music as well?
Well, I just started writing about myself. The first few albums that I wrote was me writing about my friends and family and things that I saw happen in the world. Now, I started my next record, and I think I'm more focused on, because I'm getting older, so I'm more focused on, those things, ingredients that we need to just appreciate life, the simple things in life. And because the industry of music is so polluted and it has divided us, I think my friend told me, why don't you ever write about love? So I am focusing more on writing about love and overcoming obstacles and what love truly is, what love looks like.
Now, on the album, what would be considered your favorite song and why?
I think it's going to be Said and Done.
Okay.
It's a triumphant song. It puts everything in perspective. When it's said and done and you reflect on the years of your life, you can say you won if you lived and you loved and you tried. If you lived and you loved and you tried, all you can do is live. Choose life, go for it, try, and love. Love people.
Now, as a writer and a singer, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do everything in the spirit of love.
Excellent. Now, as a writer and a performer, how would you describe love in terms of a healthy relationship-wise?
Because I'm a writer and a performer, you have to have someone that's supportive, because this is a gift from God that you should not take for granted. And He gave it to you for you to use. So if you have anybody who's hindering that or trying to kill your dreams, that's definitely not love. Love is unconditional. It's patient. It's long-suffering. It accepts you, You can feel a vibration opposite of love because it makes you feel anxiety. It makes you feel like you have to hide who you are.
Now, what advice would you give any up-and-coming artists that are looking to get into this industry?
Seriously, if you're going to get in this business, first of all, ask yourself why. Because a lot of people are doing this for the wrong reasons. They don't do it as a service, which is exactly what it is. Just like a doctor has the gift with his hands, and a piano player or a minister or, whatever your gift is, a basketball player, it's a service. God gives us these things to service people. They're for other people. They're not necessarily for us. I mean, when somebody else sings, I get what I give someone when I sing and write a song. Like I said earlier, if I listen to a Stevie Wonder song on a bad day, I'm automatically uplifted. And they knew that back then. So if you are going to get in this music business, you have to have the right mindset. You got to know that you're servicing someone. It's not about the limos and the magazine covers and the champagne and the fame of it all. That comes with it, and the money comes with it, but that should not be what drives you, what motivates you. You know that music heals. You know that messages influence one way or the other. You're serving some spirit one way or the other. Think about what spirit you're going to serve. It's up to you, but think about what your message is going to be and take responsibility for the impressionable youth and the people that you influence with that frequency. And do you. Be yourself. You may be a little bit different, but Alicia Keys is not like Lauryn Hill. Natalie Cole is not like Gladys Knight. So don't listen to nobody. If you believe in yourself and do you, you'll be okay.
Now, I like how you touched on the fact of the service part you mentioned. When I sat with Russell Simmons and looking at his stature, I mean, from the outside, a lot of people tend to want to strive for that. But one thing he definitely focused on was the fact that he was a servant, and like yourself, he was very humbled. And I think those are factors that are getting missing in this whole industry thing when it comes to people coming in thinking only about the bling and the shininess of it all. Like you said, that message which will resonate to the youth who will then be programmed to either do something positive or negative based on the message that you have given out to the world.
Right. And if you there's in Proverbs, the Bible says that life and death is in the power of your own tongue. And death doesn't always mean like physical death. It can mean spiritual death, and it can mean death on somebody else. Like if you look at Tupac and Biggie, prophesy what was going to happen to them with these words. They draw this energy and this spirit to them. And I do truly appreciate people like Russell Simmons, who know that we have to take responsibility and who know the power of music. So it's time for people, that song that D'Angelo wrote, Devil's Pie, everybody's in line for a piece of that devil's pie. It makes me think about the music business and how people are getting in line for this destructive thing when it was always meant to edify, uplift, pull you out of darkness into the light. So it's being abused for money.
Mm-hmm. And Lina, I want to tell you, it's been an absolute pleasure having you, and I have looked forward to this day, and you definitely did not disappoint.
Oh, thank you so much. You are awesome. That's all I got to say. When me and my manager got those questions, it was like, oh, he knows what's up. He knows what he's talking about. So it is always an honor for me to meet people like you. The kind of artist that I am, Anthony Hamilton, all my peers. We talk about this, Noel Gourdin, people like you, because the artist is one thing, but you need the right system. DJs, radio hosts, radio shows, radio personalities, producers, people who play instruments. We're just the singers, so we need everything else, managers, the right people, though.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. Now, you have a very special surprise for us today. What will it be?
I'm going to sing a little song. I was trying to figure out, okay, it's 7:30. What can I sing? Because it's early for me. But I think I'm just going to do this song from the Inner Beauty Movement. It's my most popular song. It's called Smooth. So I'm going to just do a little bit of that song.
All right.
Okay. Heavy on my mind, love remains. See, I've been struggling with it for a long time, day after day. The fact that I love you, but sometimes I just want to be through with you. Baby, you're the sun that chases all the rain away. That's enough.
See the truth. See the truth.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate you, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you, Lina.
The pleasure is mine.
Tell everybody where they can get that album from.
The album comes out October 1st. That's the official album where there will be a new song added. But right now, I released it unofficially. You can go to Amazon.com and get the version that's on Amazon.com. And it's called The Love Chronicles of a Lady Songbird, a tribute to soul.
Thank you so much, Lina.
Thank you.
Have yourself a great day.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All right. You're listening to It's Bigger Than Hip-Hop. I'm your host, Jeff Hodges. That was my special guest, Lina. As you said, look for that on Amazon.com, The Chronicles of a Lady Songbird. And I want to thank all of those listening live and in the archive. Stay tuned for our next episode as we gear it up with this It's Bigger Than Hip-Hop segment with our new host, I See Justice. And joining him next week, or actually us, we're going to tag team and sit down with old school rap. MC Shan will be in the building. So again, we want to thank you for listening and have yourselves a great day.
Hey y'all, this is Lina, and you are listening with host Jeff Hodges. Make sure you check out the magazine Young Men's Perspective at ympm.org.
Now, you say it's bigger than hip-hop. You say this is Young Men's Perspective. Like, what is this whole program, this whole media about? I mean, everybody got these so-called conscious radio stations. What do you guys deal with?
It's your knowledge yourself. True indeed.
Mr. Hodges, what do you guys do?
So we elevate the mind. It's mental stimulation. We definitely inject that true knowledge of self. We get it in. We talk about that beat. Turn down that beat. Listen to them lyrics.
Oh, wow. So you guys know. You guys know what we doing with the beats, huh? You know how we mesmerizing and hypnotizing that subconscious, huh? Oh, you one of them smart people, huh? Oh, just one of them intellectual media broadcasts, huh? Oh, okay. You guys think you smart. You guys keep unplugging from the matrix, huh? Okay. We'll keep figuring you out. We'll keep studying you in all your schools and all your colleges and your sports, and we're going to know. Let's go. It's bigger than hip-hop. Where we open up your mind to new thoughts. You think outside the box. You deal with the true reality and actual facts, taking things for what they are and not for what they appear to be. Never taking nothing on face value. Do your research all the time. Bigger than hip-hop. Let's go.
We kicking off this Bigger Than Hip-Hop with the international singer-songwriter Lina Loi is in the building. Also, we going to sit down with Professor Griff, MC Shan. We going to bring it to y'all. It's Bigger Than Hip-Hop.
Yeah.